Hey guys, it's Josh with Cardboard Connoisseurs. Today, bringing you our top 4 from our cEDH event from May 14th, Battle for the Lion's Eye, hosted by Game Night of Columbia, Tennessee, and sponsored by Scrollrack from our local developer Kyle. Today, our players are going to be going first, William with Malcolm Tymma, Caleb with Tymma Thrasios, Chris with Winota, and Brent with Kenrith. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe. Today we got Carl in the booth with me, and we're going to get to the action. Caleb is our returning champion. He's alright as like a person.
He's definitely kept a very strong hand in this game. You can see Dark Ritual and Necro in his opening hand.
Yeah, William's not fucking around here. He came ready to play. Not a whole lot of glare this time around. I'd like to thank myself for that.
Mm-hmm.
No Flusterstorm needed this time around.
Yep. No Dark Rit on turn 1. I guess too afraid of that counter spell. Rather just get the commander out there and start generating mana. And he gets to have a little bit of mana left over for Imperial Seal.
Now, how did you like that? How do you like deploying your commander, one of them, and getting to Imp Seal in the same turn on turn 1?
Yep.
No one else with interaction. I mean,
yeah,
we got, Boros, but you never know what Tymma or Kenrith is going to do.
That's true.
I'm a lowly monocolored player, so I have no idea what's going on in the Kenrith deck.
I would have been a bit of a fan of deploying a Necro there, but I can see with a Winota on the board, you probably don't want to be the only target for Winota for the rest of the game, so I can see the argument for just playing out Malcolm and slamming an Imperial Seal. Gets his card. We'll see what that is next turn. Much weaker turn from Kenrith, just a tap land and pass.
Could even be a boat.
Yeah. Winota just a 0 mana 0/3 and a plateau.
Gotta love it.
Okay. Some more explosive turns from the twin Tymna players here, and some pretty slow turns from the Kenrith and Winota players. But
now William has a pretty good advantage here, so let's see if he can keep it up.
Let's see. It looks like Jeweled Lotus was the card that he picked. A little odd.
He's just ready to go for it.
Yeah.
He's ready to get all his engines online.
I don't see a counter spell in his hand. It looks like he has Necro and another black spell and then a multicolor card that I don't recognize. I'm not exactly sure why Jeweled Lotus was the pick. I think just a land would have been better, but
he is light on lands. It's only spells loaded up for William here.
Maybe he's afraid of Blood Moon out of Winota.
Maybe the logic,
but I don't know.
True, yeah, Magus or the actual moon itself. Maybe the logic here is the card advantage. He plans on getting off Tymna.
Well, he would have still been able to get the card advantage if he had just imp sealed for a land and then played Tymna. That's what I'm saying. That's why the Jeweled Lotus confuses me. Maybe he's just trying to bluff having a counter spell with that Chrome Mox up.
It's working.
I mean, he's playing against a Kenrith with a single tap land and a Winota, so Winota probably not going to be able to counterspell Tymna. I guess Tymna Thrasios could have countered it, but he does draw a line for the turn though, off the Tymna trigger.
Yeah, these boys came here to play.
Oh yeah.
They're all very loud and they all know each other very well. And I would have it no other way.
Kenrith is a very, very slow hand. You gotta be thinking he's got some counter spells or something in his hand. Maybe he's just trying to wait for a Wrath, maybe a Toxic Deluge or something. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I know that my play style has always been try my best to fly under the radar, but here Will is just letting off all the sirens.
Yeah.
Letting everyone know that he's the threat.
He's got a gold mirror deployed from Winota. So that'll threaten our next turn Winota, and we know that at least Tymna Thrasios, or Tymna Malcolm does not have a counterspell in his hand right now.
The old cEDH staple gold mirror.
Eat. 2 mana dorks that make a single white mana. Interesting to see what Tymna Thrasios is going to do with all this mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now. Yeah. They are complaining about their lack of sleep. I believe this match is played around 1 in the morning, so 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
so I'm sure everyone's tired right now.
Technically, this match was the tournament was May 14th, but this match was in May 15th.
Gotcha.
Started at 7 p.m. and we ended up all heading out at 2 a.m.
There we go.
There's Caleb knocking the boom. Gotta love him.
We've got 2, 3, 4. Oh. Nope, just going to deploy Thrasios. Doesn't cost 4. Thrasios and pass. Interesting. Without enough mana to activate it, I'm not sure that Tymna would have been better there. Maybe he has delay or something like that he wants to keep that Arcane Signet and Soul Ring open.
Yeah, if I'm Caleb here on TNT, I'm definitely worried about what Will's got after Imp Sealing and all that jazz.
Yeah. They don't know that he Imp Sealed for the Jeweled Lotus.
No.
Okay, Rafine was the mystery card that I cannot identify. So
that's pretty good.
That's not bad at all.
That's a lot more draws than you normally get to see.
Mm-hmm.
Especially from a creature type engine.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Everyone confused about what Rafine does. Brand new card as of this tournament, so...
Something, give something, not casualty, but convene.
Connive. Yeah.
Connive, yeah.
And putting the counters on Tymna, of course, because of the lifelink. Got to keep that life total high against the Winota player. And, you can get some chip damage from Kenrith giving stuff haste occasionally. I'm not exactly sure what Kenrith list he's running. Some of them have a decent number of creatures in them.
Yeah, the Kenrith player, Brent, he was not on camera too much. I'm not sure what his build is, but his altar is super sweet.
Yes, it is.
Zeus holding some lightning. Ready to go. The real king.
Really hope to see a Toxic Deluge or something here, because this Tymna Malcolm player just grinding value with Tymna, Malcolm, Savine. And then also, who doesn't love to see a Winota player cry?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I love the just throw away the Narset's reversal. Don't need that.
Casual throwaway of the Narset's reversal.
He said, "I'm walking into the win on this one."
Yeah. Does he have a Damnation in his hand?
No, that is the new art for Godless Shrine.
Oh, okay. The space arts from Unset number 4.
Yeah. From Unbelievable.
Yes. They do look amazing.
Yeah,
I will have to spend a lot of money on those whenever they are officially released.
Yeah, I will be buying many a box. You can tell Winota is getting antsy over there, shaking that leg.
Yep. When you're looking down a board of flyers and a massive lifelinker, you're not very happy as Winota, because the second you start to build some critical mass, and it's not like Winota has stacks pieces that'll stop you from attacking, right? Like, that's Winota's whole game plan. Another land and pass from Kenrith.
Probably ready to...
Winota just hard resolves.
Yeah, no counterspell, no anything, no interaction.
Yep.
He's going to move to attacks.
Attacking for 1 at Kenrith. Not too damaging. Kenrith says he has a response. That's interesting.
Yeah, I can't remember. I believe they are. There was some accusation of skipping phases type deal going on.
Yeah. Yeah, Kenrith describing, or the Winota player saying that, like, you basically cannot respond to attackers being declared because he knows that now he's being attacked. Winota player basically describing that it doesn't matter because all he wants to do is flash in an opposition agent. It doesn't matter if this is before combat or after declare attackers.
Yeah, and it's just a good rule of thumb to always communicate to your opponents at all times, especially when there's $700 on the table. Is that what LED's at?
I mean, more if you count all the prizes, right?
Something like that. Yeah, that's true. Ooh.
Puts in the Walking Dead guy.
Off of the first hit. Yeah.
Yes. Humans +2/+2?
Yeah, plus like first strike and vigilance. And I mean, you just get everything.
A lot of text on that card. Who knows what it says?
Yeah, not us. Not us here.
Legacy staple Walking Dead card.
You need a certain amount of humans to have the +2/+2. So right now, I think he's just giving first strike and something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another good note: whatever flips off Winota, he can choose where to swing. There's not really any good attacks right now. But I mean, you're not gonna swing, you know. You got to get in there.
He is getting in there. He's got is that Glow Rider, right? The other Thassa, or not Thassa, Thalia.
Yeah, sure is.
Trying to figure out how to spread the damage out. Does not want to make too many enemies. Making too many enemies as Winota is a surefire way to get your board wrathed or not be able to negotiate around keeping stacks pieces, stuff like that.
Yeah, and he's in a really precarious position because he has non-creature spells cost one more. He's got Rick, which is arguably at least the best beater in the deck if you have a finite amount of humans. But then you have Will sitting over here at 41 life. Like, he's cooling. He's chilling.
Top Agent eats the gold mirror. Also explaining that Rick does not have +2/+2 right now because he's not at the critical mass, just giving first strike and vigilance, which doesn't matter because they come into play tapped.
That is true, yeah.
And now he's kind of off of having good attacks with non-creature or with non-human creatures, assuming that the Tymna Thrasios player plays Tymna this turn and doesn't attack with Thrasios because Thrasios does not have a good attack right here.
And for the newer players out there, we actually call, instead of vigilance, we just say Vig or Vigi.
we don't, but
all the old school players do that, and they look really cool and thin when they do.
Yeah, also discussing prizes.
Yeah, just to reiterate.
Yeah, they were seeing if we die here, who gets what prize, basically.
Yeah, everyone pretty much ready to be on the chopping block.
Yeah.
A counterspell has not yet been cast at all. There's some that have been thrown away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very odd. No real non-creature spells played besides Ramp currently. So, Narcissus Reversal, stuff like that. Flusterstorm, Under the Chrome Mox, all being tossed. Is the only non-mana, non-creature spell cast was Imperial Seal, I think.
Yeah, you're right. And just for clarification, again, that land with the Eclipse is just a Godless Shrine. Tymna Thrasios shaking the camera again.
Yep.
Had to yell at him once more.
Also attempting to make some enemies, it seems. Attacking the Winota player with Tymna, I believe.
Yeah, just to let him know what's up.
Yeah.
Will just in a very, very dominant position. He is completely set up. We got 2 treasures.
Drawing an insane amount of cards every turn.
Was that 5 mana? 5 mana plus 2 treasures. I mean,
yeah,
we're ready to go.
Completely breaking the Tymma draw as well with his life gain there.
The only thing he needs to be worried about is the Kenrith player. He is tapped out, but he's played 1 card, and we're not sure what the contents of his hand are.
Yep. Also describing that land is Godless Shrine to all the players.
Yeah, just for clarification.
Yeah. Unfinity, the name of the 4th unset.
Unfinity,
yes,
and beyond.
Yep. Cross promotion with the Lightyear movie coming out later this year.
Oh,
that's probably not true.
Starring Chris Evans.
Yeah. Is that a snow-covered swamp, it looks like? Thinking. He's got to have just a ton of cards in his hand. I'm so curious as to what he has.
I mean, if he kept a stinker, I don't blame him too bad. It is 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But surely he's got to have something going on.
He's making land drops. He's not playing spells. I'm just curious as to what's up.
A lot of reading going on this game.
Mm-hmm.
Though Rick is a weird one, not being in an actual set, just being in the secret lair.
Being actually pretty difficult to get a hold of, especially with the price jump due to him being played in Legacy Humans.
And we're just over here guessing what it does, so.
It apparently gives lifelink according to the table talk, so.
Next time we'll have him hold it up to the camera. So we got Op Agent, and now we have a Gilded Drake.
Gilded Drake. What is it going to take?
I think I take
buff
something.
Tymma is a good option for me.
I want Tymma, and I want it right.
Or just cut him off of cards with Winota. Winota definitely very scary. I can see taking it, especially when no one really is interacting with him right now. He doesn't have a very good attack with that Phyrexian Walker, but who knows what's in his hand.
True. I mean, yeah, that cripples Winota. There can't be that many ways in the Winota deck to get the commander back.
Not a lot of bounce spells, so you're looking at like swordsing your own commander, casting it again for 6. Definitely slows you down a whole lot.
Yeah. I guess you need like Command Beacon. Was that the land?
I don't think a lot of people are running Command Beacon or Homeward Path or anything like that.
That's what it was. I was thinking of Path. Homeward Path. I still would be more scared of Will. I think, even though, I mean, what he did wasn't a bad play by any means, because, I mean, once it's Chris's turn and he gets to untap.
I just like drawing cards with a 5/5 lifelinker, honestly.
Yeah.
But I can understand taking Winota, especially because that gives you a blocker on this board state, which is really nice. It's
and
a 4/4.
He would only get one Winota trigger.
Yeah.
With just the Phyrexian boy.
Maybe hoping that someone else will deal with the Tymma Malcolm threat here. Just so much mana, though. I don't know. I don't actually even know about casting Tymma here. You don't have any good attacks. It might just be better to start activating Thrasios. Your entire army right now is ground, and you have a very clogged up ground board state, and even the flying board state is pretty bad, although Malcolm and Rafine are getting turned sideways every turn, so
whole lot of creatures this game, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Creature dense.
Oh, Swinging in.
An attack.
Yeah, aggressively attacking him.
Okay. A little bit of, what was that? That was a point of commander damage right there.
Yep. And drawing a card. I'm not fully on board with getting in with Thrasios there, since you don't get to draw a card over Kinnan, but who knows?
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
It is 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he has a Psych Rift. 1,
That's
2,
true.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 7 mana exactly, so he may just be trying to bait out some spells, make people think he doesn't have anything, trying to get in for a bunch of damage, and then throwing out a Psych Rift.
Will's ready to get swinging.
Mm-hmm. Cannot attack with that Esper Sentinel reliably unless you're going to put all the Rafine counters on it.
Rafine doing work in this game.
Absolute work. The very, very strong Tymna the Weaver going absolutely nuts. Gaining a huge amount of life.
Will has to feel like he's goldfishing this game.
Mm-hmm. Not even goldfishing a combo, just goldfishing turning your card sideways and not being afraid of being attacked back because you're gaining so much life and drawing so many cards.
Exactly.
So he is sending the Esper Sentinel in. I assume that means that we're getting Rafine counters on the Esper Sentinel. At least 2 will save it. And also that makes it to where you basically cannot cast non-creature spells anymore without him drawing a card, because that tax goes up with Esper Sentinel's power. So paying 3, paying 4 to try to blank an Esper Sentinel trigger is just not going to happen. That's basically Mystic Remora that doesn't have cumulative upkeep now.
Yeah, they don't call him Ristic Buddy for nothing.
Exactly. So it looks like he does put 2 counters on it, 2 lands, Mox Opal, and I think Cabal Ritual.
Yeah.
Are the discards.
Will's making some very tight plays this game. Everything's very compact.
Yep.
Keeping only interactive spells in his hand. I see a Force of Will. I see a Psych Rift.
Mm-hmm. Is that a Ganjo as well?
Yeah, a Ganjo, and I think a Windfall.
Windfall probably not going to benefit him here, but that is something to pitch to Force of Will if that gets to that.
Or even just the Rafine
That's true.
Counters.
Yep. Tymna gets eaten because they forget about the wall of text on Rick that gives the humans first strike. Again, 2:30-ish in the morning by now, so he is responding to that, or not responding necessarily, but acting on that now that he understands the
Implications of his actions.
And the Aganjo indeed coming into play.
We're seeing creatures. We're seeing a Ganjo. Just this is just regular EDH.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to see if anyone has a deflecting slot. Definitely not the Tymna Thrasios player. Kenrith could have it. He does have a commander that he owns, or that he controls right now. So pretty brutal. Rick dying and eating the Riftwalker or whatever that Glowweaver, whatever that card is called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thalia effect there. Looked like a great trade there for a second. Turns out not a trade at all.
Yeah, Will is just out here taking a Sunday drive with his little granny gloves on.
Mm-hmm.
Having a great fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Hand full of gas. Board full of creatures.
Yep.
3 of which draws him cards. Now he's got a Ristic Buddy and a fucking fish.
Yep. Malcolm player is saying that opposition agent is actually stopping him from winning right now. I don't know how accurate that is. He looks like he's in a pretty good position.
Yeah, right.
It is shutting off at least one fetch land from each opponent. You see a Scalding Tarn over there in the top right, Polluted Delta, and a Bloodstained Mire. A little strangling everyone's mana a little bit. Yeah. Winota player describing that the Malcolm player is actually in a good position, despite his own beliefs that maybe he's not in such a good position.
I mean, that's just good politicking.
Yeah.
Even when you have it, you don't let them know you have it. You know.
Looks like he has a Psych Rift, right?
Yeah, Psych Rift, Force of Will, Windfall, and then what I believe to be lands.
Going to take at least two wraths to deal with this situation. Not sure which of these players are running Toxic Deluge. At least the Winota, or the Kenrith player and the Tymma Thrasios player could be running it. They could also be running Cyclonic Rift or something to that effect to get rid of this.
Yeah, and if you guys are interested in us doing individual deck techs, please leave a comment below. And we could always facilitate that.
Yep. Ella Domry's Call resolving. Force of Will not hitting that.
I think Will is postured up to the point where he really just wants to protect what he's got going on.
Yeah.
Because the Eldamri's Call is what? Is that to the hand?
It is to hand, yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, you're not doing anything with the Op Agent and a Winota.
Revealing Dockside, of course. Can't cast Dockside.
Yeah.
Revealing it, though.
The value side.
Yeah. Because that is an Overgrown team, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Taps poorly, for sure.
2 a.m. But we're still going to point out the misplays here and there.
Expressing dissent now that he realizes he tapped both his red mana while tutoring.
And obviously there's no takes backs here in the Thunderdome.
No takesies backsies unless all four players agree to it. It does not seem like they're agreeing to it. I think that Dockside's going to show up next turn.
Yeah. It's going to make a lot of treasures. I'm just not sure if he's going to be able to utilize that.
Or if it's going to get forced. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 treasures to be made right now, if my count's right. Of course, those treasures from the Malcolm player could be sacked in response, but...
True. Will's still over here with 40 life.
Yep. Well, he's going up and down with the
That's true. Yeah. He's got this thing called life gain.
Yep.
No Vigi, but life gain.
Interesting.
Demonic Consultation.
High alert. Shields are up.
I've heard of that card.
Will does have about 40 counterspells, likely. I see definitely Force of Will. I don't know if he drew additional counterspells off of Fish or Esper Sentinel. Obviously, a lot of chance to draw more if he tries to go for the combo or protect it or anything to that effect.
He's really playing cat and mouse here. He reveals his hand, pulls it back, reveals his hand, pulls it back.
Yeah. I see what looks like a Cull of the Week in his hand now.
A little shaky. In with Tymma.
Yep. Experiencing a little bit of that Tymma advantage himself. Probably feels really good after being beat on by Tymma all game. Lamenting his apparently poor draws. Deathrite Shaman. Does not trigger Esper Sentinel or Fish, thankfully.
Psych Rift on the
single
Op
target
Agent.
Opposition Agent Cyclonic Rift.
But he's got 3 mana open, so I assume that his plan is to counter it on the way back.
Because he does have that Force of Will in his hand.
And he was talking about Op Agent locking him out of getting any further, so he must really need that mana off of his fetch. I guess, because we know mostly the contents of his hand.
Yes. And we know his hand is very, very stacked. Looking for Thrasios cards off the top. Maybe he gets something good for him.
He's looking for some hot action. He's looking for some hot local singles. Talks about how he's not having the best luck right now.
Looks like he is in a pretty commanding position. 2 massive draw engines if anyone tries to interact with him here.
Really tanking on it. Not sure what it is.
That is true. And I guess we're not going to see it because it is going to the bottom.
We'll see what he flips.
He is flipping a Op Agent.
Lock him out, folks. Lock him out.
A Force of Will deals with 1 Op Agent, but it definitely does not deal with 2 Op Agents.
We might be in some hot water, as the kids say.
Yeah.
So they finally resolves. Op Agent bounces back, but we know of 2 Op Agents in the hand. 4 mana untapped there, 3 mana untapped there.
Yeah. Saying he only has 1 counterspell that works against creatures, so he is now shut off again. Although shut off is a pretty operating term here.
Oh, and they let him fetch.
Yeah.
Okay. Not sure what's going on, but I respect it.
He fetches successfully.
Everybody else discussing whether they should fetch. Now everybody else is fetching. So.
A fetch pact here. Everyone's allowed to fetch. Everyone's very excited that they have mana now. Ensuring that if they're going to let the player that's in just a dominating position here fetch, they might as well fetch themselves, right? Let's not lock each other out while we're trying to stop this guy.
There we go. Now that's a true group hug.
Yep.
The real award here was friendship. All along.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what he's got here.
Fish, paying for that cumulative upkeep there. He has about 7,000 mana, so not surprising.
He definitely has a monopoly.
Mm-hmm. Marsh Flats, cracking Marsh Flats. Do we see the Op Agent here?
No.
No Op Agent.
No Op Agent. Like I said, Will has got his granny gloves on, just driving Sunday morning drive right now.
I think both Op Agent players think that he has a counterspell for their Op Agent, which he does, and would rather have the only Op Agent on the table if they can, so kind of slow rolling it, letting people get some fetch lands off to try to get their Op Agent to be the one that sticks.
That's true. Let's see what happens next. No attacks yet. Still thinking about what's going on.
Yep. See a deafening silence in his hand now.
And he's set
Don't
up.
know if that'll be beneficial.
He's all dressed up, but does he have anywhere to go?
It doesn't look like he has a lot of places to go, if we're going to be honest here.
He's
If he just turns his creature sideways for the rest of the game, though, I don't know that anyone stops him.
That's true, especially with Winota lockdown.
Yep. Although eventually this Thrasios will grind out enough value to be a threat, right? Especially with Kenrith on the board, he's going to have Deathrite Shaman with a ton of fetch lands in the graveyard, multiple rocks.
Ooh.
And now there's a smothering
tide.
I don't think that matters that much.
I don't know. He's got that windfall.
Yeah, I mean that is excellent against a windfall.
Brent over here stealing Winota. Call him Mr. Steal Your Girl.
There's the windfall.
Yep, there we go. That's what we like to call crispy. Now, is anybody going to fight over it?
I expect that we're going to see some opposition agents flash in here. At the very least. Even if this Windfall gets countered, he basically still gets to Windfall with the Fish and the Esper Sentinel on the board, so I think you let it resolve. Just try flashing those op agents.
Yeah, might as well dump them before you have to grab a new hand.
Or you just play a bunch of Noxter Survivals, feed his hand, and try to get a bigger Windfall for yourself when you untap. He actually does have a lot of lands tapped right now.
Yeah, he only has...
Of course, with Smothering Tides, they'll get a ton of treasures, but...
Yeah, in this moment, he does not have too much mana.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his Mana Vault and a Godless Shrine untapped. Will says, look at all my shit. I have so much shit. You are not ready for my shit.
Everyone just pointing at each other and saying, priority. Seeing if anyone's going to counter the op agent. He says, okay, I will also flash in my op agent.
Ooh, I like the slow roll there. You really slowly put it on the table.
All tutors now locked out. There's 2 opposition agents. No one allowed to tutor anymore. Unless they'd like to tutor for their opponent. Or Predator's Grasp.
And the way that works for you folks at home that just learned about Vigi, you will actually pick a player.
Yes, you pick a player who you would like to take control of you with opposition agent.
Yes, okay. Control me, daddy.
Pyro blasting the Windfall. Oh no, Rafine. Sorry, that is actually a great play in my opinion. Feeding his hand with additional cards for you to draw, as well as getting rid of something that's going to make his board be undeal-withable by the Toxic Deluge players eventually.
Yeah, very sweet play by Winota. You got to take your windows where you can. Ooh, and there's a silence in Winota's hand as well.
Yep. Yeah, casting a silence into this Windfall actually kind of great, because that makes him go to the cleanup step if he draws a bunch of cards off of his Fish and Esper Sentinel there. Untaps, he has to use treasures to interact, which is not going to be a problem with his Scalding Tarn, but we'll see. Or with his Smothering Tide, but we'll see. Okay.
And poor Dockside didn't get to do shit.
He tried and he failed.
But I gotta say, we're high. We're getting higher on this non-creature spell count right now.
We went up a Windfall. We went up a Pyroblast.
Even a Mana Vault.
A Mana Vault. That's still mana, so we're not going to count that. But the Mystic Remora, we'll count that. Why not?
Mana Tide, or Smothering Tide, whatever. I just
Smothering Tide is also mana. But why not? We'll count it. It's an enchantment.
Why not?
It doesn't tap for mana.
Call him Will the Taxman.
Looks at his new hand. Doesn't seem to be that pleased with it. Looks like he's got an Urza's Saga. Is that a Divide by 0? Can't be a Divide by 0. It must be like a Mana Drain or something.
Yeah, it's got some weird art on it.
Yeah.
Is that...
Time Twister.
Oh,
okay.
Oh my. Are we ready to have fun, or are we ready to have fun?
He is throwing down a Time Twister, shuffling up those graveyards, giving both the Dockside players their Docksides back.
We see a counterspell.
Pact
40 minutes into the game.
And it counters it. Definitely a very, very bad draw from the Malcolm player there, if he doesn't have any interaction for that Pact.
Now, he does have Consultation left in hand, but he still needs some more pieces to make this work.
Consultation by itself, a card that essentially says roll the dice and hope you don't kill yourself. But with Thassa's Oracle,
pray you don't kill yourself. Everybody very on edge, just ready to die.
Yep. Malcolm player also stating that he forgot that he had a Mystic Remora on the board until just now, and that he is okay with saying those triggers are missed. Very fair, considering we've had a Windfall since then. Everyone very hungry, very tired right now. So
that's how we like our players.
Yep.
At the end of the day, it ends up being an Iron Man competition.
Yes.
Opting to leave Esper Sentinel back for this one.
Yep. No Rafine anymore to make him big enough to not die on some of these attacks. Trades with Gilded Drake, trades with doesn't even trade, just dies to Winota, and trades with an opposition agent. So everyone has a way to kill it.
Now with him leaving Esper Sentinel back, it does signal that he does not have the juice. When in fact you would think he does have the juice after wind falling so hard.
Yes, his hand actually surprisingly terrible for wind falling like crazy. We see the Malevolent Hermit deployed. The rest of his hand, Swamp, the flyer thing from Modern Spirits, Mausoleum Wanderer, I think.
Yeah, Mausoleum Wanderer, yeah.
Everyone's saying, is this the flying thing from Modern Spirits? It is the flying thing from Modern Spirits.
They all agree that this is the flying thing from Modern Spirits.
Yeah. Say, what are these things? Oh, they're both counter spells on a creature that require you to sack the creature. Okay. At least we're keeping the theme. So it looks like Swamp, Urza's Saga, Demonic Consultation in his hand. Actually fairly weak considering the wheel that just happened and the massive amount of card advantage he's generated this game.
Yeah, his opponents are all juiced up, but he is still sitting at 40 with a pretty decent board. He can
still just keep turning cards sideways, right?
Counterspell blockers. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he could just do his best Winota impression.
Yep. Actual Winota turned off, so he says, here's some 5/5s, some flyers.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. All right.
Kenrith deep in the tank here, wondering where it all went wrong.
Yeah, probably when he forgot to leave untapped red mana while Eldorami's calling. Almost never tap Command Tower for your first spell of the turn if you can help it. A good little Pavlov there to help you out.
Yeah, you
Shocks
say
and a Hollow Fountain.
That's the two things we live by: Vigi, and don't tap the Command Tower right off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in your 5-color deck.
Especially in 5-color. See, Winota, Command Tower is just a plateau that you can't fetch. But in Kenrith, Command Tower is a lot stronger.
Words to live by.
Tapping to discusses maybe killing his own Winota. I wonder if he is gonna Neoform it. Hoping that he can kind of talk the Winota player into playing some counter spells if the Malcolm player tries to interact. Malcolm player says this is a cost, so it gets sacrificed anyways. Don't bother protecting that. Who cares? Draws. It looks like a Cephalid Coliseum and something else that I don't recognize.
What do you get with 6 mana?
It'll be 5, I think. Renault's a 4-drop, right?
Oh yeah, you have to have 1
so you could get stuff like Seedborn Muse in Kenrith.
Muse would be good.
And he forgets about the opposition agent in the board state. Just helping out Tymma Thrasios. Maybe he finds an answer for this crazy board state. If he does have Seedborn Muse in his deck, Thrasios is very happy with that, of course. Very, very happy. I see Drannith Magistrate in there. Obviously cannot get that with Neoform. Let's see what's happening. He says, let me look at your hand too. I control you because I have an op agent right now and you're trying to search your library, which is accurate. I see Monkey. I see Thassa's Oracle, but I do not see a 5-drop.
Might have been a big goof here.
He does say that he saw Seedborn Muse while going through the deck, and that's probably what he's going to pick.
Yeah.
He says he saw a Seedborn Muse and an additional target.
Also, when you're playing in games like this, I mean, it's more than valuable to, like, if you're Will right now and you're obviously pretty postured up to win, you just don't have the cards yet, the more you cast other people's eyes on everybody else just takes the attention off of you.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that Will could just be lying that he has a Seedborn Muse, and he does get a Paragon Drake. Not a Seedborn Muse. Interesting. So it looks like they were having some kind of Palicron action.
Okay.
Yeah. That's still pretty good with Thrasios. You could, a lot of potential there for sure. We know he has Pindum's aura in his deck. He may have like something like a Meal to Bless or something like that to generate a bunch of mana.
Oh yeah. That's a classic hit right there. A meal make you feel.
Yep. Kenrith thinking about trying to resolve a spell, and the rest of the table pointing out that there is a Mausoleum Wonder and a Malevolent Hermit there. Please do not just like play nonsense into letting him draw cards and countering your spells. There is a wheel.
Okay.
Does he want a wheel?
Do you pay for anything? No, you can't. At least the card's drawn.
Everyone's saying that they're actually kind of okay with the Wheel of Fortune. He has enough treasures as it is with that Smothering Tide. They're not scared of him getting 21 more. They'll just put him at a casual 30 treasures. Winota is showing that his hand is terrible. Kenrith as well. And then Tymma Thrasios showing a Finale, which would have been very helpful. Drawing into a Dovin's Veto, actually very, very important here.
Oh, yeah.
When one player is generating so much value, just having a counterspell that says no more interacting is excellent.
Yeah, and we are deep into this game. We were at the 50-minute mark. Well, 40-minute mark.
Still a little bit locked out on those opposition agents from a lot of angles. Right, and it looks like we have another opposition agent from the Malcolm player just drawn now, so we're introducing a third opposition agent into the mix.
Classic Wheel of Fortune into Ponder.
Yep.
Classic.
Wheel of Fortune into It's Just Not Good Enough, which is fair. With the way that this board is, I'm honestly surprised no one's dead yet. Getting rid of that Rafine definitely slowed this game down, made it an actual game. We see just a crazy, crazy hand over there now, though, from our Malcolm player. Force of Negation, Opposition Agent. It looks like a Chain of Vapor. Rhystic Study, Vamp Tutor. A lot going on. Vamp Tutor, of course, locked off from multiple angles, but...
It's nice to dream.
It is nice to dream.
Kenrith doing stone nothing outside of wheeling and passing the turn.
But even still, Vamp Tutor, a little bit of insurance here from the Malcolm player. Theoretically, you could Vamp Tutor, have someone who is going to die search your library for like a Toxic Deluge and cast it himself, providing your own counterspell backup, especially with that Force Negation. He'll be casting that spell on his turn. You have free counterspells. It's a possibility. It's even more insurance being in the driver's seat here for him.
Yeah, Will's firmly in the driver's seat. He's got all the mana, all the cards. All he has to do is stitch it together and make it into a win.
Yep. When another player looking at his hand, trying to figure out how to not just feed more cards into the Malcolm machine over there.
He opts to hang back, see what comes out down the pipeline.
Yep. A bunch of nothing going on here from our Winota player. He has a little non-creature or non-human attacker there in the Gilded Drake that has evasion, but gambling on one Winota trigger, a little bit risky when the board looks like this.
Yeah, Winota without the commander is not nearly as scary with the commander.
Of course.
As you can see here.
Yeah, he's not just grinding value with that Winota like these Tymma Thrasios players or the Tymma Malcolm player. Or even the Kenrith player drawing a card maybe once a turn or so, putting a counter on something. Winota is just very, very explosive compared to the current commanders.
Yeah, Kenrith has been very stunted this game. You see the other blue decks on the other side of the table being able to grind and actually have some engines. Obviously Malcolm more than Thrasios, but...
Kenrith hurt by the fact that he just costs so much more than these 3 mana, 2 mana commanders, 3 mana commanders that make treasures, and not having as strong an opening, obviously, as the Tymma Thrasios or Tymma Malcolm player.
Which is what a lot of people say about the argument between having Golos banned and not having Kenrith banned, is the mana requirements, basically.
Yep. Yeah, Golos, of course, basically paying his commander tax himself. If you tutor out a land, play your land for turn, you can kind of get ahead on lands that way. Whereas Kenrith kind of just stunted by the fact that he is so expensive right here. Tapping 5 mana just to have it Force of Willed, pretty miserable. Mana Crypt from our Tymma Thrasios player. Actually, very, very few Thrasios activations this game, considering how much mana he has. Sitting on 7 mana plus artifact mana, amounting to, 3, 6, 8. So 15 total mana, with a Peregrine Drake under that opposition agent. Not activating Thrasios very much. Peregrine Drake comes into play. Tapped 5. Does he untap 5? Yes, he does.
So, Will's not even doing his triggers anymore, huh? For Esper Sentinel and Fish.
Well, Esper Sentinel doesn't trigger on Peregrine Drake.
Well, for the...
Oh, for the Mana Crypt, yes.
Yeah.
Force of Willing Peregrine Drake. What an interesting move there.
Yeah. And they're fighting over it.
Yeah, interesting. Oh, he remembers his fish. Yep, and he is making him an offer he cannot refuse of 2 treasures. And he says, I have a swan song.
Interesting. That's
yeah.
Peregrine Drake combo something over there? Or?
Yeah. The Kenrith player describing that his play is actually a good idea, which maybe is fair. I mean, if he does have Emil the Blessed, he does instantly win. Assuming that there's just a lot of non-creature spells, non-creature counters in hands.
Huh. Okay.
Yep.
Will draws a billion cards.
Yep.
And
Will with about
has a
50
billion
cards
life
in his hand. It looks like that last one was Grand Arbiter, which is probably bad. I'm going to say that's most likely very, very bad.
That might be the nail in the coffin, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that, but they would.
Kenrith player may be trying to put the Peregrine Drake in his graveyard for a combo potential. I do not see how he's going to combo with the Malcolm player having about 50 cards in his hand. We know one of them is Chain of Vapor. We know there's a Force of Negation in there. And he just drew a Grand Abolisher off of one of those triggers from the Counterspell fight. Looking like they have miscounted some damage here. Losing 1 for the Force of Will, I think, and trying to see if he'd paid that yet. He has not.
Got to keep him honest here.
Yep. So the Malcolm player here with about 1 million cards, one of which is the Grand Abolisher, Rhystic, several tutors, Chain of Vapor. Hard to see how he has a struggle here. Alright, a Notion Thief off the top, stopping that Thrasios player from just getting any value, just in case.
No activations in response.
And an op agent of his own.
Of his own. That's what happens when you draw enough cards, kids. You just kind of ignore everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everyone giving Will shit for being the smartest and most handsome Magic player at the table.
Let's see. We have a Mox Diamond pitching a Flooded Strand.
Yep. Ledger Shredder in hand for the turn.
Yep. And we are Looks like we're sacking 2 treasures for that Grand Abolisher.
See if there's any responses here. If that's not high alert, I don't know what is.
Yep. Very, very high alert. Everyone asking for responses.
And by responses,
Winota player actually trying to do something here. He's saying no one else is interacting. Can I braid a Notion Thief so that maybe these other players can draw some cards?
Just some good, clean fun.
Yep. Countering it with Malevolent Hermit. Pays 3, the mana leak. Does he forget his Mausoleum Wonder? He does not. He says, nope, that's going to get countered. Mm-hmm.
Everybody very upset that they let Will just run away with this game.
Peer into the abyss, targeting himself, as one does.
As one does.
Drawing probably not that many cards, considering how many cards he's drawn this game.
As is tradition.
Yep.
Sadly, he'll have to go from 40 to 20.
Maybe he just dies to Winota hitting him. Maybe he forgets what he's doing and just kind of falls over here.
Maybe he just throws his deck down and just walks out the door and we never see him again.
A lot of cards in his graveyard. We don't know what his deck build is like, so it's possible that he just doesn't have a good way to win right here. With Rafine, you think that you're going to see Razaketh maybe, something like that, that would let you just insta-win. Everyone's saying, did you draw a Thassa Consultation? And let's see. We'll learn together.
We see the demonic in his graveyard.
Yeah. We have a Pact in his hand, some Signets.
We do not have access to red.
Yep. We are casting a Thassa, I believe. I see blue tapped. Nope, untapping.
He's going to think about it.
Oh, 3 mana for a Yawgmoth's Will.
Okay, so he is going to go for the consultation in the graveyard.
Yep.
Thassa's Oracle, you can't interact with me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, by the way, Demonic Consultation, you still cannot interact with me.
Yep.
That's all she wrote, folks.
That is all she wrote. There's a Grand Abolisher on the board with a Thassa's Consultation trigger on the set.
And that's the way she goes. William is our winner with Malcolm Tymma with the Battle for the Lion's Eye top 4.
Very well played. Very explosive turn 1 and some questionable decisions. Again, it is about 3 in the morning by the time this is finishing. So
yeah, there were some bumps in the road, but we got there. Winota was definitely neutered. TNT had some bad draws, and then Kenrith, I have no idea what was going on over there.
Very slow play from Kenrith. I'm expecting just not keeping a very good hand. Saw basically 5 lands and to try to do stuff, which is not a great ploy to play in cEDH typically, especially when you have that turn 1 explosive draw like from our Malcolm player, or even from our Tymma Thrasios player.
But this was a great game, just to show you how important Op Agent is. I mean, Will had everything going on and could not get anything together until he had his own Op Agent. Yep. And then he was able to run away with the game with all of his advantage engines and finally find the win.
Yep. Also an impressive showing from Rafine, basically locking out combat from even the Winota player, just presenting a very big board of Tymna the Weaver as a 5/5, Esper Sentinel as a 3/3, some flyers, just this very strong, hard to trade with creatures, especially in cEDH where creature count's usually very low. Not obviously not represented on this game. Very high creature count for this game.
Yeah, this felt like an EDH game, which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, a lot of people argue that that's where the meta is shifting, is more towards creatures, because everyone's so used to the Turbo Nas meta, where everyone only has non-creature interaction for free. But yeah, that about wraps it up. Thank you for watching. Again, hosted by Game Night in Columbia, Tennessee. Check out their Facebook. They are opening a new location in Spring Hill. We have a local developer, Kyle, with Scrollrack. You can check out that app in the description below. We also have the next tournament coming up will be Sunday, June 12th. It'll be at 2 p.m. in Columbia, Tennessee. It'll be a win-a-box, $30 entry. Mash that like and subscribe. Any other content you want to see, please leave in the comments below, and we will make it happen. Again, this is Josh and Carl with Cardboard Connoisseurs. Have a great, great night. Goodbye.